probably seen the headline. Filipino fans chant A at Bad Bunny concert goes viral. It's been racing across Filipino tennis TikTok for 6 days. And here's the thing about it. The real story is bigger than the headline and quieter. And it has almost nothing to do with a chant. It has to do with a small wooden house. Not a real house, a stage prop. Bad Bunny's world tour carries it with him. It's shaped like the old rural Puerto Rican homes his grandparents' generation would have known in timber, painted unmistakable on the tour. It's called La Cita, the Little House, and it sits at one edge of the main stage. It functions as an invite-only VIP section, but that's not what it is. What it is a symbol. Bad Bunny built his current tour DBY Tar Moss photo as around the idea of a diaspora carrying it home outward. Lacacises, that idea standing upright under stage lights in whatever city he's landed in that week. On the night of Friday, July 10th, 2026, La Casita was in Stockholm. Inside it dancing was a 21-year-old Filipina named Alex Eala. 5 days earlier, she had walked off center court at Wimbledon to a standing ovation. She had just lost a round of 16 match to Jasmine Paolini 4-6, 6-4, 3-6. And the ovation was for the run itself. She had become the first Filipina in history to reach the 4th round of a Grand Slam singles tournament. As of this week's ranking release, she sits at world number 28, a new career high. Alex Eala is now the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in history, but the real story isn't found in the rankings alone. It's found in everything that happened between her historic Wimbledon run and the viral concert clip that followed. When footage of Eala dancing inside Bad Bunny's La Casita during the Stockholm concert surfaced online on July 12th, it quickly divided opinion among Filipino tennis fans. Some question whether a player just 5 days removed from a heartbreaking 4th-round loss at Wimbledon should be attending a concert at all. Their reaction reflected a long-standing mindset within parts of Filipino sports culture that views public celebrations or leisure after defeat as a distraction, believing athletes should immediately return to training and remain out of the spotlight. But many others strongly disagreed. One social media user, later quoted by Manila-based outlet Radar.ph, summed up the opposing view. She's 21, so yeah, Alex needs a party once in a while. Don't grow old on the tennis court. Balance is the key. The facts support that perspective. Eala flew from Stockholm to Manila the very next morning, attended a state reception at Malacanang Palace just 2 days later, retained the Wimbledon ranking points she had earned, and climbed to a career-high world number 28. Nothing about attending the concert affected her performance or achievements. Instead, the moment highlighted something that much of the tennis conversation had overlooked. Alex Eala is not simply a tennis project or machine built to chase results. She is a young woman balancing the demands of elite competition with the realities of everyday life. That distinction gives the viral clip its real significance. It wasn't just about a celebrity appearance or a night at a concert. It was a reminder that even world-class athletes are allowed moments of joy, normalcy, and celebration. As the story unfolds, those ordinary moments become just as meaningful as extraordinary achievements because they reveal the person behind a rising tennis star. The story begins on July 6th at center court, Wimbledon. After a hard-fought battle, Jasmine Paolini claimed the deciding set 6-3, completing a 4-6, 6-4, 6-3 victory over Alex Eala. Eala had led the final set 4-3 before the momentum shifted, but as she walked to the net, shook hands, and acknowledged the crowd, she was rewarded with something few players ever received after defeat, a standing ovation from center court. Wimbledon captured the moment on its official social media channels with a simple caption, asterisk, a standing ovation from center court, Alex Eala, asterisk, it was recognition not just a single match, but a historic tournament in which Eala became the first Filipina to reach the 4th round of a Grand Slam singles event. For days past, like any top 30 professional, she left London, traveled to her next destination, and continued life beyond the tournament. On the evening of July 10th, she arrived at Strawberry Arena in Stockholm for the opening night of Bad Bunny's World Tour. To understand why that appearance resonated with so many people, it's important to understand the place she stepped into. At the heart of Bad Bunny's tour is La Casita, a small wooden house that serves as far more than a VIP section. It is the tour's defining symbol, representing the idea that the Puerto Rican diaspora carries its culture and identity wherever it goes, transforming every destination into a temporary home. The concept has become one of the central themes of the tour, celebrating heritage, migration, and belonging through music and visual storytelling. Guests invited into La Casita are, in a sense, invited to become part of that message. On that July night in Stockholm, one of those guests was Alex Eala, a Filipina athlete representing a nation with millions of citizens living and working overseas around the world. Whether intentional or not, the image carried a deeper symbolism. Two cultures with strong diaspora communities meeting inside a small wooden house on a concert stage in Sweden, connected by the shared experience of carrying home wherever life takes them. That was the setting behind the viral moment, and it gave the clip a meaning that reached well beyond a celebrity appearance at a concert. The next chapter of the story unfolded during the concert itself. At one point in the performance, while Bad Bunny and his dancers took over the La Casita platform, Alex Eala was among the invited guests who joined them on stage. Videos captured by multiple audience members later spread across social media, with reports from outlets including ESPN, the Philippine Star, and the Manila Tribune confirming her presence. In the footage, Eala appears naturally in the background, smiling, dancing, and moving in and out of frame alongside the other guests. There is nothing that suggests the moment was staged or orchestrated for publicity. Instead, she simply looks like what she is, a 21-year-old enjoying a concert after one of the biggest weeks of her career. The story becomes even more interesting because of the person who unknowingly documented the moment. Her name is Mayumi Torio, a Filipina content creator and personal trainer who happened to be vacationing in Sweden and had secured tickets to the concert. Speaking to Philippine Star Life on July 13th, Torio recalled initially thinking she was mistaken. She joked to herself that one of the women on stage looked like Alex Eala because people were so accustomed to seeing the tennis star in competition gear or formal attire, not wearing a party dress at a concert. But as she watched more closely, she realized it really was Eala. Torio explained that, as someone who appreciates fashion, she was struck by how confidently Eala stood out in the crowd as a beautiful Filipina with natural energy and an infectious smile. From that moment forward, her camera rarely left Eala, unintentionally capturing many of the clips that would spread across social media and international news the following day. Neither woman planned for footage to become viral. Yet together they created one of the most talked about moments of the week. That is where the story quietly shifts. It stops being about a celebrity attending a concert and starts becoming a reminder that behind the rankings, trophies, and headlines is a young athlete simply enjoying an ordinary moment in an extraordinary life. The morning after the concert, Alex Eala, fresh off reaching a career-high world ranking of number 28 and just 1 week removed from her historic Wimbledon fourth-round appearance, did something remarkably ordinary. She sent a direct message on Instagram to Filipina content creator Mayumi Torio, politely asking if she could use the videos Torio had captured during the Bad Bunny concert in Stockholm. In her interview with Philippine Star Life, Torio recalled that the message didn't feel like it came from an international tennis star. Instead, she said it sounded like it came from a barkada, a Tagalog word that describes a close-knit group of friends or chosen family. The tone, she explained, was warm, casual, and youthful, as though she were chatting with someone she had known for years. That single word, barkada, may capture the entire story better than any headline ever could, because everything that followed, the viral concert clips, the emotional homecoming at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, the recognition at Malacanang Palace, and the anticipation surrounding her upcoming appearance at the DC Open was connected by one simple reality. Despite becoming one of the biggest names in Philippine sports, Alex Eala remained approachable, genuine, and unmistakably herself. She later posted her own TikTok compilation using Torio's footage, pairing it with a caption written entirely in Spanish, a language she learned during her formative tennis years while training in Mallorca. She chose not to translate the words, allowing them to speak for themselves. Mientras uno esté vivo, hay que amar lo más que se pueda. While one is alive, one must love as much as one can. It was a quiet, personal message that reflected the same authenticity people had seen throughout the week. By July 12th, the video had spread far beyond tennis circles, appearing on ESPNW social media platforms, Cosmopolitan Philippines, Latin American Bad Bunny fan pages, Filipino tennis TikTok, and European entertainment accounts following the tour. Around the same time, Manila-based outlet Radar PH pointed out the remarkable coincidence that Eala had become a trending topic for two completely different reasons on the very same day. While the Stockholm concert footage continued to circulate online around the world, Eala was arriving back in Manila to a hero's welcome. Fans, government officials, flowers, and media outlets, including the Philippine Star and Sunstar Devo, were there to celebrate her historic Wimbledon breakthrough, creating a rare moment where two very different stories merged into one. The world was recognizing Alex Eala not only as a rising tennis star, but as a young woman embracing life beyond the court without losing sight of who she is. The contrast could hardly have been more striking. Less than 24 hours after appearing on stage with Bad Bunny in Stockholm, Alex Eala was back in the Philippines, walking through the arrivals hall at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, where she was welcomed by fans, officials, and bouquets of flowers in recognition of her historic Wimbledon campaign. The celebration continued the following day, July 13th, when Eala attended a formal reception at Malacanang Palace hosted by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The event, titled Tagumpay Nating Lahat, roughly translated as "This victory belongs to all of us," honored her remarkable achievement, with the president presenting her a presidential citation for making history on one of tennis's biggest stages. During his remarks, Marcos described himself as a fan before emphasizing a message that resonated throughout the room. He praised Eala for consistently representing her country, saying, "You never fail to remind everyone that you are a Filipina. You never fail to do that." The statement stood as an official acknowledgement that her impact over the previous week had extended beyond rankings or match results. It was about visibility, national pride, and the way she carried the Philippines onto one of the world's biggest sporting stages. Yet alongside that formal recognition was another voice that revealed a more personal side of the story, that of Mayumi Torrio, the Filipina content creator who unknowingly documented Eala's viral concert appearance. Because she witnessed the moment before it became a global headline, her perspective carried a different kind of authenticity. Her description of Eala as someone who felt like part of a barkada, a close circle of friends, captured the warmth and humility that statistics and headlines could never fully explain. Torrio ended her interview with a simple reflection that, in hindsight, perfectly summarized the entire episode. The best content isn't always planned. Sometimes it's simply being ready when the moment happens. While she was referring to filming the viral videos, the same words could easily describe Eala herself. She wasn't expecting to become part of one of the most talked about moments of the week. She simply embraced the experience when it arrived. Looking at the bigger picture, the significance stretches well beyond a single concert or a viral social media clip. As the newly ranked world number 28, Alex Eala has become the first Filipino tennis player in history to earn an automatic seeded position for the North American hardcourt swing, giving her direct entry into prestigious tournaments such as the Canadian Open in Montreal, and positioning her among the sport's elite as she prepares for the U.S. Open. Her journey is no longer defined solely by breakthrough performances on the court, but by the growing influence she carries wherever she goes. A reminder that history can be made through both extraordinary achievements and the authenticity with which they are lived. Her breakthrough at Wimbledon also transformed the road ahead. As the newly crowned world number 28, Alex Eala secured direct entry into the Canadian Open in Montreal, the Cincinnati Open, and the U.S. Open later in August, eliminating the need to battle through qualifying rounds and firmly establishing herself among the world's elite. More importantly, her remarkable run erased a piece of Philippine tennis history that had stood untouched for generations. Before Eala, the last Filipinos to reach the third round at Wimbledon were Felicissimo Ampon, Raimundo Darro, and Cesar Carmona during the years between 1948 and 1953. In the span of just 2 unforgettable weeks, Eala shattered a barrier that had lasted more than 7 decades. Yet perhaps the most remarkable part of the story is that she is only 21 years old. For all she has already accomplished, she is still at the beginning of her career, suggesting that this historic breakthrough may be only the first chapter of something even greater. Her next confirmed appearance will come at the Mubadala City DC Open in Washington, D.C., a combined ADP and WTA 500 tournament scheduled from July 27th through August 2nd. where she is officially listed in the singles main draw. It will mark her first competitive match since her unforgettable Wimbledon campaign, following an extraordinary stretch that included the viral Stockholm concert appearance, a presidential citation at Malacanang Palace, and a fan event at Glorieta on July 15th that drew crowds packed behind velvet ropes, hoping to catch a glimpse of the country's newest tennis icon. When Eala steps onto the hard court in Washington, however, none of those celebrations will matter. It will simply be another tennis match, a first-round contest decided by serves, returns, and a handful of crucial points. That reality also brings the story back to where it began, center court at Wimbledon. For all the recognition that followed, the defeat itself remains part of the journey. Eala had led the deciding set against Jasmine Paolini before momentum shifted, losing the final 3 games as the Italian closed out the match. ESPN's match analysis noted the fine margins that defined the contest, recalling how Eala had earlier displayed remarkable composure by saving multiple break points and reeling off 5 consecutive points to hold serve during the second set, the same fearless version of herself that had stunned Iga Swiatek 2 rounds earlier. But in the deciding set, those narrow margins swung in the opposite direction, and this time she could not pull them back. Even so, when she walked off center court, the crowd rose to its feet in applause. Wimbledon honored her achievement with a post featuring the Philippine flag, recognizing the history she had made. 5 days later, she was in Stockholm, smiling and dancing at a concert, reminding the world that athletes are more than the results on a scoreboard. The defeats matter, but so do the moments in between, and together they tell the fuller story of Alex Eala's remarkable rise. And that brings the story to its final destination. Think about the extraordinary places Alex Eala has walked through in just the past 12 days. First came center court at Wimbledon, where she received a standing ovation after making history as the first Filipina to reach the 4th round of Grand Slam singles tournament. Then came La Casita in Stockholm, dancing on stage during Bad Bunny's World Tour in a moment that unexpectedly captured global attention. Next was Ninoy Aquino International Airport, where she returned home to flowers, cheers, and a hero's welcome from fans eager to celebrate her remarkable achievement. A day later, she stood inside Malacanang Palace to receive a presidential citation during the Tagumpay Nating Lahat ceremony, where President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. publicly recognized the pride she had brought to the nation. Soon after, thousands of supporters packed the Glorieta Activity Center, holding phones high above the crowd just to catch a glimpse of the country's newest tennis star. And in only a matter of days, she will step onto another stage altogether, a hard court in Washington, D.C., at the Mubadala City DC Open. There will be no concert lights, no wooden house, no speeches, no ceremonies, and no chants echoing through the arena. There will simply be a tennis court, an opponent across the net, and another match to play. That is perhaps the most remarkable part of Alex Eala's journey. She is entering spaces that no Filipino tennis player has ever occupied before, yet every verified account from those who have met her describes the same person. She remains approachable enough to send a friendly, direct message to a stranger asking permission to use a video, doing so with the warmth and familiarity of someone reaching out to a member of her own barkada, a close circle of friends. In many ways, that single word says more about who she is than any ranking ever could. She is no longer defined only by statistics, trophies, or headlines, but by the way she carries herself through every room she enters. Perhaps that is why the caption she chose for her own concert video felt so fitting. Written entirely in Spanish, a language she learned during her years of training in Mallorca, it simply read, Mientras uno esté vivo, hay que amar lo más que se pueda. While one is alive, one must love as much as one can. She never translated it, and maybe she didn't need to. The message spoke for itself. If this is your first time on the channel, we cover the WTA Tour through the lens of the Filipino tennis community and diaspora, following not only the victories and defeats, but also the moments between them that reveal the people behind the athletes. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe for our upcoming coverage of Alex Eala's preparation for the DC Open, and let us know in the comments which moment from this unforgettable week stood out to you the most. We read every single comment.